happened. 'Twas the beginning of the war. The United Kerbin Federation Director Kerbin was in a new craft developed. A small, yet somewhat agile, and a lowered speed, not quite Mach, but still capable of getting altitude, was the new craft. He was flying it. He wasn't sure what was happening at the time, but what was about to happen would make history. He took off and everything was going well. The plane was traveling at a decent speed and accelerating. And that's when something seemed wrong. He couldn't tell why, but he kept hearing these clanging noises from behind. That's when he realized what was happening. He attempted an evasive maneuver, but it was too late. His engine had been struck. All power failed. The thrust output was dropping rapidly, and that is when the craft crashed. It was a very close call, but it appeared like he had survived. He began to EVA, but then he realized that if somebody wanted him dead, and whoever was shooting at him obviously wanted him dead, likely would be able to take him out. So he managed to get back into his cockpit. Nobody's quite sure what happened, whether whoever was firing figured, well, he was already dead, or if they just figured, or if they just let him be there. But after climbing back into the craft and waiting, he was soon rescued. Nobody was quite sure what happened, but it was apparent that whatever it was not good. The primitive craft had not been equipped with a radio, so he wasn't quite sure what happened until he was rescued. Turns out that a rogue faction had seceded, and, well, they were now in control of the KSC on the opposite side of the world, which was now the rebel base in the administration's building. Nobody was quite sure what was going to happen, but one thing was for sure: there was plenty of arguing. The arguments lasted for several days, but eventually it was decided that, despite the protest of many, they would have to begin building weaponry. They would need some way to fight this new enemy. How? They did not know. All they knew was that they needed to fight. Little did they know that not far away from them, on a nearby island, was a secret base which had been used to fire a drone off a remote launch pad, which immediately flew over and attacked Jebediah Kerbin for his scheduled flight. That meant there was an insider. They weren't sure how this was going to end, but it was clear that it would not end well. They prepared for war. Total war.